So this happens some of the times, and it's been happening a lot more lately. Maybe it's because there was more to say about yesterday's show with Tim Walters of Florida Today. So I think I'm going to expand. I just received information on how people are feeling. Well, one person about the stats from yesterday's show. So let's talk a little bit about that, because Liberty Health Share is going to join us later on. And so it's important that we continue with the show. So fasten your seatbelts. We're going to learn and grow together. Here we go. Time to dance while I take incredible notes.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful best day ever. And for those of you who are new to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, and let me say that slowly. Lillian McDermott Radio Show. Yes, that's what you're listening to. And for those of you who just stumbled upon my show, let me tell you what this show is all about. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. What do I mean by embrace a new truth? Well, 7 years ago, and I've said this before, 7 years ago, I started this journey called the Lillian McDermott Radio Show. And the website is whenyouneedafriend.com. I was asked, why, if we gave you a show, which I never had any aspirations, I don't even have a background in doing radio or broadcasting. If we gave you a radio show, what would it be on? And the goal has always been to be a good friend. Not everybody has a good friend to turn to. So that was the goal of the show. So what happens next is a totally different journey that I anticipated. I thought it was going to be about roundtable discussion. I thought it was going to be about everybody getting to share their perspective and not feeling wronged. And although I've held on to those values the entire 7 years. But here's where it changed. It changed the moment I was challenged to go raw vegan for 1 month. And because I don't shy away from challenges, I said, bring it. Bring it. I can do anything for 1 month. I can support this. I can try it out. And what happened 3 or 4 days later was that I felt so good that I thought, if this is what food can do, what else is out there? And that's what started the new change of the Lillian McDermott Radio Show. And it was about not only becoming a friend, but sharing this new journey that I have been on. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and you'll probably roll your eyes every time I say it. But the woman who started this show is not the woman that is speaking to you today. I don't eat raw vegan, but I eat a very close to raw food. I also am very much about a nutritarian lifestyle. Dr. Joel Furman is a regular on the show, as you know, for those of you who are regulars and who drive around. I had this woman call me to say that she drives around just to listen to my show because they don't have radio. Actually, there have been more than 1 or 2 share that information. What an honor. What an honor. And so here is what I've learned, and this is what the show has become. If food can make us feel so good, it wasn't that I was feeling bad, it's that I was feeling better. I didn't know there was better. That was the lie that I bought into for many years. For many years, I bought into you're sick, your body's telling you symptoms, time to take a pill. Hey, because the pill will set you free. Then I realized that if food can make me feel this good, perhaps there's some information out there that can support how I was feeling. But how was it? How was it that I missed out on this? And it's because from the moment I was born, I was indoctrinated with my culture, with my beliefs, everything. And can you imagine thinking you're going to coast for the next 50 years of your life and then discovering, oh, no way, Jose. It's going to be a new journey, a new step, a new truth that would be revealed every step of the way. My yellow brick road that I was easing on down the road with turned out to be a totally different way of life, a totally different attitude. I thought I knew it. And the more you know, the more you think you know, the less we know. Because we know what we know. I know that I can now stand in front of a microphone and speak my truth. I know what it's like to be a single mom. I know what it's like to be a married single mom. I know what it's like to love a stepchild like your own. I know what it's like to lose a baby inside my womb. I know what it feels like to not have friends or feel alone in a room full of people. So I took this journey and say, what is it about how I feel? What is it about my journey that I could use for the greater good? And that is what this show is about today. And we're going to continue our conversation worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. So what they don't know on Radioland is that my guest didn't show, but I guess I will share that with some people when I come back. But for now, I am going to make a little adjustment. Unpause, unpause. So the show started.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn and grow together. And today's journey, we're going to be talking about today's journey of how to, yesterday I spoke about the article for Father's Day with Tim. Today we were planning on talking about the Stern method with Brian Sternagel about his son who had neuroblastoma, stage 4, and survived. But I think sometimes with the time zone, people aren't aware of the time zone difference. So I am going to share with you some of my thoughts that I've had along my life, along the journey, and hopefully we'll be able to bring Del Billis at the end of the show to talk about a new way, a new truth about health care. And that's what I subscribe to is Liberty Health Share. And we're going to talk about that later on. But for now, as I was getting ready and waiting for my guest this morning, and then with 2 seconds left, Brian said, okay, we're going to go on. So realized that it's time to share from my heart. And today it's all about sharing from my heart. So this morning, I shared my article with someone I love very dearly, and the reply of the article, which is the worth of a father. Just know, for those of you who think that, well, since you don't know me, I was married for 7 years. And when the marriage ended, my husband decided that he was not only going to walk away from me, but he would also walk away from our children. So this article that I wrote about the value of a father comes from my own experience. I wanted to interject that, but I wanted the article to be about fathers who are fathers. And so, of course, I cannot speak of that. I can speak about other things. I can speak about many other things, but this one, I didn't have that perspective. So I sent out this email to my favorite fathers in my life. And many of them, not all, but many of them replied. And so I used their wisdom and I scattered it throughout the article, which I love this article because fathers are so important. So I shared the article with someone I love, and their response was, well, I hope single moms don't read or your article. And I'm like, what do single mothers have to do with this? And so I was curious. And so I dug a little deeper and I said, okay, well, share a little bit more about your perspective. And so her perspective was the statistics that I shared yesterday on the show. The statistics that I shared today, my article is in print at Florida Today. You can also go to whenyouneedafriend.com and go to the About section, and then all my articles are there. I've written for Florida Today for the last 3 years. And by the way, I was told that I was a poor writer, that the way I wrote was not good. Maybe I was just ahead of my time. That's what I'm saying. If anybody ever tells you that you can't do something, say, bring it. Watch me. Let me show you how I can do this differently. It may not be the way that you intend for it to be, but what if I introduce a new way of looking at something? And this whole week it's been about this. So I sat down with this major radio station that would like to carry my show, but they feel that my show is for women and that I'm an all-male radio stations. How many men listen to me out there? If you're a man listening to me right now, please text me at 407-373-5959. If you're a woman, text me at the same number, text a W. If you're a man, text an M, 407-373-5959. I'm going to do another scientific poll because I was told that this show needs to be in a women radio station. Really? Well, I want to hear 407-373-5959 right now. If you're listening to my voice and you're a man, text me an M. If you're a woman, text me a W. So there are many times in our lives that we are told a statistic. Like, for example, when I married my current husband, I've been married for 24 years, together 25. And we were told that we had a 25% chance survival, which meant 75% chance that we would not survive. Which statistic do you think we hung on to? The 25%? Yes, we hung on to that. We want to be part of that 25% that we're going to make it. And I don't want to be just married. I want to be happily married. And as a result, I renew my husband's contract every 6 months to make sure that we stay focused on the happily married. I know that that sounds kind of weird to some people, but it's better than just walking away. Give 6 months a try and see how that 6 months can change attitudes, perspectives, and do whatever it takes to make it work so that you both create win-win. Oh, got off a little track here. So the article talked about not only my experience with my first memory with my dad was playing with me. I would run to my dad, and I was asked what a ching chung chan meant. A ching chung chan was a sound that my dad would make, that he would just proclaim and declare. Had no meaning, just the noise. A ching chung chang. That was what my dad would do when he would say a ching. He would pick me up to the heavens, and then he would straddle me around his waist, and he would say chung, and then he would flip me like an Olympian, and I would land on my 2 feet. And he would say, Chang. That was the best ride in town. It was so much fun, and it showed me the start of how important a father is in our life. The words meant nothing. It was that interaction. So in my article, throughout my article, I wanted men to see the importance of a father. The importance, if you're not a father and you want to be a father, you don't have to be biologically tied to that child. I am a stepmom, and there is no difference to me between my stepchildren and my biological children, other than where they were born. My stepchildren were born in my heart. My biological children were born in my womb. But regardless, they were born within me, in my body. We can choose how to live. We can choose how to love. So here's what the the reply was, and I loved her perspective because it made me think, and hey, it gave me the what I'm talking about today, because my guest didn't show up. So here we go. The statistics. The statistics were taken from the census, the US Census Bureau, from a 2014 census, I guess. I don't know how I would use another word, but I feel that men tend to be logical. Men tend to be logical. So I wanted to add statistics in there to wake fathers up. Just like my husband and I were awakened when they said 75% chance you will fail at a second marriage. So the two of us, we said, if we're going to do this, we're going to be part of the 25%. So which side are you going to focus on? So here we go. The study says that 23.6% of US children, that's 17.4 million children, so that 23.6% is substantial, live in fatherless home. This was a research or a study or whatever they did in 2014. And this is what they discovered, that children are 4 times more likely to live in poverty of these fatherless homes, more likely to have behavioral problems, commit a crime, go to prison, and use drugs and alcohol. There are 23.6 more, or 2 times more, this 23%, 23.6% are 2 times more likely to suffer obesity, 2 times more likely to drop out of high school, 7 times more likely to become pregnant as a teen. And that's not the predisposition. We need to be aware that this is 23.6%. That means 77.4%, I don't know if I've got my math correctly, 77.4% correct chance that that's not going to be true. My children, for 3 years, grew up in a fatherless home. My children, because we were divorced, grew up for 3 years without a father in the home. My children are all beautiful and successful in their own way. Now, I could focus on that 23% and go, oh my God, I can't believe these statistics. Or I can focus on that and say, warning, Will Robinson, warning. This isn't going to be a piece of cake. Now, here's the other side of that coin. I wonder if these statistics are the same when children grow up with father-full homes. Maybe there's a father in there, but there's no connection to their father. Maybe the father is working all the time. Maybe the father is a fantastic father, but yet the child chooses to go down that 23%. These statistics are just the same statistics that I was told, that I was a horrible writer, but yet I've been writing for the Florida Today for 3 years. I don't think they would want an awful writer writing for them. Would you? I was told that this radio show could only be done with women in a women's station. And I'm asking you that if you are listening to my voice right now, I'm going to slow it down. Call or text me at 407-373-5959. If you're a man, type in an M. If you're a woman, type in a W. Or just say, hey, I'm listening to your show right now, I'm a woman, or I'm a man. I want to hear that these statistics, there's another side of the statistics. Listen to this statistic. 50% of women who have the BRCA gene get cancer. What the heck? 50%. What happened to the other 50% that don't get it? What did they do differently? You tell me, what did they do differently? Some women choose to remove their body parts. Some women decide, I don't want to be part of that 50% that's going to get cancer. So what do we choose? Do we hang on to that 23.6% of fatherless homes and focus on all the wrong things that are going to happen to me? Or do I hang on to the 77% of people that are successful even if they don't have a father? What do you choose? If you're a man listening to me right now, 407-373-5959, text me that you are a man. Just type in an M. If you're a woman, type in a W. Statistics mean nothing when you have a vision and a goal. And we're going to continue our conversation. We're going to bring Dale Billis when we return worldwide, and that's of libertyhealthshare.org. So 407-373-5959. I'm going to do another unscientific poll, and when we return worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. I'm hot and bothered right now. We'll be right here waiting for you. Hey, Dale.
Go, Lillian.
Go. So my guest didn't show up today.
Oh, my.
So I wrote an article. And so because I asked for your topic for today and I didn't get the topic. So I just thought, the topic today was going to be a little boy diagnosed with neuroblastoma, stage 4. And we'll have him on again. I'm thinking that the time zone change must have been a big issue with them. Maybe they weren't aware. And it's happened before. Even though we highlight the time zone, it does happen. But I wrote an article called The Value of a Father. And right before I was going to go on the show, I received a text. Saying that this article makes a single mother kicks them in the stomach, because with men, men are like statistics. They're logical. That's the bias to logic. So in my article, I wrote a percentage, and I could send you the article. Actually, if you go to floridatoday.com and do Lillian, you can see it's called The Value of a Father, if you can search it. But anyway, here are the statistics, Dale. They did a U.S. Census Bureau 2014. This is what the results were. 23.6 of U.S. children, that's 17.4 million, live in fatherless homes. This is what they discovered.
Wow.
And they're 4 times more likely to live in poverty, more likely to have behavioral problems, commit a crime, go to prison, and abuse drugs and alcohol. 2 times more likely to suffer from obesity, 2 times more likely to drop out of high school, 7 times more likely to become pregnant as a teen. That's 23%. So what happens to the 77%? Do we ignore those?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So my whole thing, my rant this morning was, when I married my current husband, who's my second husband, we were told that we had a 25% chance of survival.
Yeah.
Right? So we decided that's 75. They didn't put it that way. What they said to us is you have a 75% chance of failure. That's not what I heard.
Right.
What I heard is we have a 25% chance. Let's do it. As a result, I joke with my husband, but this is real. This happened from a real incident where I walked away from after 7 years of marriage, I walked away from him saying, I can't deal with this. We either change or we done. And so he said, give me a chance. And I told him 6 months. He had 6 months to straighten up his act. And every 6 months, I renew his contract. So it's been 25 years that we've been together.
Right.
So, sometimes you have to think. And I was saying that 50% of people that have the BRCA gene get cancer. The other 50% don't. Why are we so focused on statistics instead of focusing on what we want?
I am in full support of your point, and that's exactly right. That's what happens, is that we get focused on the negative as opposed to the possibilities. Possibilities,
opportunities. So let me just finish up my segment, and then I'll bring you in. And if you want to, I can text you the article. Do you want me to text it to you? And you can read it while I'm speaking.
Excellent.
And that way Here you go. Oh, let me mute. Type in your phone number, Dale. I think I have it, but type it in. I don't want you to say it over the phone or over the air. Okay, so I will send you the article. And for those of you who don't have the article and you want to go to whenyouneedafriend.com and you can see the article yourself. Okay, I'm sending it to you right now. And this is what happens. And how much time do we have, Brian? 1 minute. All right. Oh, 1 second. Here you go. Let me know if you got it.
You can text Lillian McDermott or leave her a voicemail at 407-373-5959. Once again, here's Lillian.
Thank you to all you men and women sending text 407-373-5959. I am doing an unscientific poll to see that only women listen to me, right? This is what I was told, and that I am in an all-male station. Now, I'm not talking about the stations I'm in. This was a new station that wanted to broadcast my show, and after researching or looking at my show, they thought, you know, how can we best highlight you? And I appreciate that. I totally appreciate that. How can we best highlight you? And so we want to make sure that you're in a women's station. I'm thinking, because men want to hear politics and sports? What up? Come on, men. You want to know about life too, don't you? Right? So if you're a man listening to me right now or a woman, you can call or text me 407-373-5959 because I want to know who is listening to me out there. Are you a man or a woman? Do you value this information that you're getting as a man? And as a woman, hey, it's so stereotypical that we are the ones with the feelings. Men have feelings too. And that is why I wrote this article. I wanted men to feel valued. And by the way, you are listening to the Lillian McDermott radio show, and you can hear it worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. I'm your host, Lillian McDermott, and it is my goal that we learn from each other, that we whoever's in front of you becomes your teacher, and you can learn how to be and how not to be. It is your choice. You can choose to be part of the statistic, or you can choose to say, I am beyond that statistic. That statistic does not control me. How many times have I been told I wasn't good enough? How many times have I been told that I could not write, and I write for 3 years for Florida Today, that the show is for women only? And how many men are you out there listening to my show? I was told that my husband and I had a 75% failure rate. I chose to look at the 25%. What do you choose to look at today? And this is what this show is about. It is about the value that we put into words, the value that we put into statistics. Will you become a part of the statistic, or will you say, you know what? I am me. I am not a statistic. I am an individual who makes a choice of what I want. I can also choose what I don't want. What is your choice? What will you choose? So, as I am writing this article, or what I'd like to do right now is to shift a little bit and say, I would like for you to stop and go to whenyouneedafriend.com. I want to build my platform, and I need you to do it. And I need you because the more people are listening and the more stats I can prove to these people that this show is of value, just like a father, just like a mother, just like positive attitude. And that's what we learn here on the Lillian McDermott radio show, where I am your friend. I am not the expert, but I can point you to where you can go. And so here's what I'd like for you to do. Go to whenyouneedafriend.com, become a subscriber. Do it now, because if you say you do it later, later is a lie. Later is not something that you can guarantee. So I want you to do it now, because all we have is now. Go to whenyouneedafriend.com, become a subscriber. While you're there, play around, click on to the YouTube video, subscribe, click on to my social media, like me, click on to my podcast. If you don't like doing YouTube, you can go to podcasts, iTunes, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, subscribe. And when you do that, the show is sent to you. You don't even have to, well, although I want you to listen at 8 o'clock and at noon and at 5 and all the other times that you can listen. I do want you to listen live because then you can interact with me live. But when you're looking at the video, then you may not have a chance to win a book or a DVD or give me your feedback like today. Or if you're watching this video, put it underneath on Facebook that you are a man or a woman and that you support learning this new truth. So while you are at whenyouneedafriend.com, I ask that you check out my sponsors, because without my sponsors, this show, these are sponsors that believe in this message, this truth. And so I want to ask you to go check them out. And today we have Liberty Health Share. We have Liberty Health Share joining us. And they have believed on the show. And not only that, whenever I have a new market, they believe in that show so much, they go to that market with me. Because they're about empowerment, they're about freedom and learning a new truth. So check out my sponsors and figure out a way that you can support them the way they are supporting me and the show and you indirectly, because you get to hear this for free. Where else do you go? And today I'm asking you, if you're a man or a woman, call or text me. Let me know your gender, because I'm not buying into this, that the men only want sports, that men only want politics. I don't buy into that. Men, if you're closet listeners, please come out of the closet. And so I will get off my little soapbox because I kind of like went off in a little rant here. And I normally don't do this, but I kind of like that statistic today. You can look at that 23% of children who grow up in fatherless homes. Or you can say, you know what? Even if I grew up in a fatherless home, I am more than that. I am part of that 23%. I am part of the 77%. That will never define who I am. And with that, I would like to introduce you to Del Billis of Liberty Health Share. He is the chairman and founder of Liberty Health Share, who had this vision. And I'm sure he heard no's throughout the whole entire time. And he said, you know what? I'm going to continue with my tunnel vision because I know what I want. Del Billis of Liberty Health Share, welcome to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show.
It is such an honor and pleasure to be with you, Lillian. And I just resonate with both your passion and your convictions in this area. It is reflective of the fundamental values that gave rise to this movement that we call Liberty Health Share. That is people taking personal responsibility and personal control over the care of their health. That's the focus.
That's right.
And as I've heard you make your points, you've just come back to these fundamental, what I think of as the founding principles of our very nation.
Yes.
The centrality of the individual, the sense of self-determination.
Yes.
The empowerment of the person to exercise their rights received from God, not filtered to them through governments or parliaments or kings.
Yes.
But rather, our founders launched our nation on the basis of a very dynamic but very revolutionary idea.
Yes.
That government is in place based upon the consent of the individual. Yes. So their focus was on the empowerment of the person. And that's really what captivated my attention in the passage of the Affordable Care Act.
Yes.
Back in 2010, whenever the government decided to centralize, give a centralized plan, top-down, orchestrated arrangement to healthcare, I saw it as a significant intrusion that had never before taken place in our fair republic
Yes,
into the
absolutely.
individual rights of the person. And so I launched Liberty Health Share with 3 fundamental beliefs.
What
And
are
they're
those? What are
they're
those?
on our website, Lillian.
Yes.
Folks can go there. But the first one was that we have the God-given right to manage, direct, and control the care of our health. Number one. Number two was that we have both a spiritual and moral responsibility to care for our bodies. That's the personal responsibility.
Without a doubt. Amen, brother.
And the third was, hey, we're not an island. We live in community with others. And on the basis of this like-mindedness as a community, I'm going to invest my dollars and money every month to help another person. And whenever I'm in need, that same community is there to help me. We turn that principle of mutual aid and mutual assistance, along with the other couple of principles, into a solution for healthcare. And it's resulted, frankly, in a mass movement across the nation. And we're seeing that grow and expand every day.
Absolutely. And when I joined Liberty Health Share, it completely changed my perspective and taking ownership of my health. Because yesterday I was at a doctor's office, and they were talking about how a particular drug cost $10,000, and it was chemotherapy, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Out-of-pocket expense was $10,000. And the reply was, well, I don't care. The insurance is going to pay for that.
Precisely.
Yeah. Go people knew how much out-of-pocket expenses came out of their cancer treatments, it's more expensive to go through the chemotherapy with your insurance and thinking that they're paying for things because there's a lot of out-of-pocket expenses, than choosing to do an alternative approach, pay out of pocket. It'll be cheaper in the long run. And we're going to continue our conversation with Del Billis of Liberty Health Share. You can find Liberty Health Share at libertyhealthshare.org, and the number is 855-585-4237. And we're going to continue our conversation when we return worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. We'll be right here waiting for you. Okay, Del. You're on fire too.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You know how many people told you couldn't do this?
Oh, tons. Tons. Absolutely. And there was just not just opposition, but just disbelief that this kind of movement toward healthcare freedom could even be possible.
Yeah.
And it's been proven, obviously, over the years that it resonates with a significant portion of our nation, and we continue to grow. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, Dale, let's continue with that. I just want people to know what Liberty Health Share is all about, how you guys are changing the way we do and process health.
Yeah.
And so Brian, keep me honest, okay? Keep us honest with the time. So I am sure you heard countless times that this could not be done, but yet here you are 30 years later, the man who you are today. Do you recognize the man you used to be to who you are today?
Boy, that is a powerful question. And the answer is the transformation that has occurred personally, internally, both in terms of what I value today versus what I valued 30 years ago, has transformed dramatically.
Yeah.
And it really comes about as a result of the fundamental belief that's embedded with Liberty Health Share is the need for us to invest in relationship with others. That's what is transformative. And that's, if anything I've discovered and learned, it's not about my personal talents or my individual capabilities or what I can achieve and what wealth I can add. All of that is ephemeral. It passes. What really matters is the kinds of relationships we build with family and loved ones and friends and others because relationships will last.
You know, interestingly enough, and I don't remember all the stats. I love stats because, you know, even though they are important, even though my stats are important, I believe that stats are kind of like a pulse, you know, look at them, don't internalize them so much, but know what you're up against and go for it even harder. And
Yeah.
so I lost my train of thought here. I lost my train of thought.
But it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. The caboose just left me because I got like 3 texts and I looked down and I was talking about stats. Oh, okay. I got it. So the statistics of the centenarians, what they all had in common, it wasn't that they had a pristine diet or that they were didn't smoke or didn't drink. It's that they felt like they belonged to a tribe.
Yes.
And that was like a 43% decrease or increase in mortality if they felt they did not belong. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show, where we always learn from one another. Hey, by the way, guys, women out there, I want to hear if you're a man and you're listening right now, or a woman, you're listening right now, call or text me, because I was told that this is a girly show. So I want to hear about all you men. Come out of the closet. Come out wherever you are. If you're listening, or a woman, 407-373-5959. I'm doing an unscientific poll. You can call, leave a message. I just want to hear who is listening to me. What gender is out there listening to me? And today I'm so honored. I love it when Dale Billis, he's the chairman and founder of Liberty Health Share, who 30 years ago, he had a vision, or Liberty Health Share had this vision, and he has, I'm sure, Dale, how many times did you hear no?
It was frequent and often, and particularly in the early launch of Liberty Health Share, just the disbelief or skepticism that a movement of individuals coming together to care for one another in a like-minded community and paying each other's medical bills was just a concept too far for many. And yet, over the course of the last 5 to 6 years, it's just been demonstrated that there is a hunger in America for relationships with others. We're built for relationship.
Yes, we are.
In my viewpoint, created by God to be in relationship with others. And wherever we can turn that principle into a solution for any area or problem of our lives, we're going to succeed. And that's precisely what Liberty Health Share is. It is a community of like-minded individuals where, on the basis of that relationship, we're engaged with one another in supporting each other at the times of sometimes the biggest crises of our lives, Lillian, with healthcare costs. And so we're like a social community standing with each other during those times. I frequently refer to it as relational healthcare. That is, my money every month is going to another person to help pay their bills. And I message them with cheer, encouragement, prayer, whatever the case may be. And that money is then mingled with multiple other members assigned to that expense, like crowdfunding. And we're all familiar with that model. We crowdfund each member's medical expense, cut the checks to the doctors and hospitals, and it's care, it's support, it's engagement with each other that's proven to be the successful element that at the beginning, as you asked, was thought to be just not even a whisper and a prospect, but it's proven to be the element that catches not only folks' attention, but makes them realize they wouldn't do it any other way.
You know, and I would like to add, you know, you talk about, you know, crowdfunding and you talk about all that as an example, but I want you to know, my listening friends, my viewing friends, that this is not this is $1 million per incident. You know, when I first retired from typical conventional insurance and joined a health share program, I was scared. I was a little scared because I didn't want that crowdfunding. Like I'm going to only be paid for if I have enough money. And no, there is enough for everybody, because this principle with Liberty Health Share is based from abundance, not lack. And so that is like, I want, for those of you who are listening to Dale, we're talking $1 million per incident. What does that look like? When my husband and I made the decision to add me to his insurance, we chose not, because it was going to be $500 extra a month to add me to insurance that didn't support me going to holistic doctors, functional doctors. If I wanted to go to an acupuncturist or a chiropractor, it wasn't going to support that. Plus, there was a co-payment, and plus there was a what is the deductible? A huge deductible. And so when I looked at Liberty Health Share and I thought, I'm only paying $199 a month, and I have $1 million per incident, that I can be sure that you guys are going to take care of me. And if I want to go to, once I meet my unshared amount, which is AKA a deductible, or the deductible is $500. Once I reach $500, Liberty Health Share is going to take care of me 100%. What? I'm going to try it. And for those of you who would like to try it, the number is 855-585-4237. That's 85-Liberty. I think that's 85-Liberty.
Well, it's 855-58-Liberty.
58-Liberty. That's right.
855-58-Liberty.
There we go. And so for those of you who want to learn more about Liberty Health Share, go to libertyhealthshare.org. And you hear these commercials whenever you're listening to my show, because they are a supporter of the show. And so that you know that I'm not promoting them because they're a sponsor, I was a member for an entire year before I said, I wonder if they would be interested in sponsoring my show. And when you guys came back and said, not only we are absolutely so like-minded, we will. So thank you, Dale, for having that vision and supporting the show the way that you guys have.
Well, we're talking about that, and thanks for the opportunity to do so, Lillian. We're talking about a life principle, a principle of reciprocity and relationship. And what you've just talked about in terms of sharing in medical bills up to $1 million per incident came about as a result of our community coming together and making those choices and decisions.
Yeah.
It's not about imposing a set of rules on free individuals. As a group, we've decided as to the types of bills we'll share in. Mm-hmm. And what best meets our needs and fulfills the kind of support that we need. That's why we have an annual unshared amount of $500 for a single, $1,000 for a couple, twice that, 3 times that for a family, $1,500. That came from a vote and an engagement of our members. The $1 million per incident care and support to pay an individual's bills came from that kind of community engagement. So all of our what we call our guidelines, we set those rules in and among ourselves and share in each other's costs, because we believe we're here to help with those costs that are unexpected, unaffordable, where we can plan for it, budget for it, anticipate for it. We wish to do that ourselves, but share in community those costs that we otherwise would not be able to bear ourselves.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that controls us our entire life, and it's fear. Because this is why I became open, and I truly believe that things happen to us for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. It is my job. It is my duty to look at the purpose, to find the beauty in whatever it is. And when we found ourselves without insurance, I discovered a whole underground community out there. If you say you're self-pay, the price goes down 75%. What? 75% self-paid? I thought, and I was, there's people, even though there's a mandate out there that you have to have insurance, they figured out that it was cheaper not to have insurance, and the fine was cheaper than not having. It's crazy. And I am not advocating not having insurance. I am saying that Liberty Health Share is an option that is so affordable that makes the Affordable Care Act make sense, right?
It is affordable because it's our money at stake. That's
right.
What changes the mentality and the behavior. When you have skin in the game, the dollars that we share in meeting healthcare costs member to member come from our pockets and the pockets of our fellow members. And the kind of moral hazard that you referred to earlier, where someone at the counter says, oh, a $10,000 expense, oh, well,
Yeah,
the insurance company is paying for it. That's what the third-party pay system has delivered to America. We've broken out of that system and share our bills together person to person.
Well, Dale Billis, I am so grateful to you. Our time has gone to an end, but we are going to continue. This is so important for those of you. Call 8558-LIBERTY or libertyhealthshare.org. Thank you, Dale, for being on the show today.
It's my pleasure.
And to you, my listening and my viewing friends, it is time to take ownership for your life. And please remember, I'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyounneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Yay, that's good. That was good. That was good. I love it. And I want to continue talking to you, Dale, but I want to say goodbye to our viewers. Thank you so much for watching today. And if you have been told that you're not enough, tell them, bring it. I am enough, and I will show you
That's
how
right.
enough I am.